Hello and welcome. As a hotel AI expert, I'm delighted to welcome all students of Europe Hotel School to your online learning journey. Now, if you're on this path, you're aiming to manage some incredible hotels one day. But what really separates a good manager from a truly great one? Well, it's not just about the numbers on a balance sheet. Today, we're going to dive into the blueprint for real financial leadership. This quote just absolutely nails it. Look, almost anyone can learn to read a profit and loss statement, but genuine financial leadership, that's about the bigger picture. It's about building the solid foundation of ethics, strong governance, and of course, accountability. It's really about shaping the very character and the future of the hotel you're going to lead. So, first things first, we've got to learn to look beyond the balance sheet. A financial leader's decisions, they don't just affect profit margins. No. They create these ripples that flow through the entire hotel, impacting everything from your team's morale all the way to the guest experience. So, the big question is, how do you build that culture of financial integrity? Well, it all starts with a strong foundation. Let's explore the two pillars that are absolutely essential for any successful hotel: ethics and governance. Let's kick things off with ethical forecasting. You can think of this as the absolute cornerstone of integrity. It's all about making sure your financial projections are based on reality, on honest, clear-eyed assessments, not just, wishful thinking about a fully booked high season. And you have to think about the real-world impact here. On one side, you've got honest forecasts. These lead to smart decisions about staffing, about supplies, and about investments. And that builds trust with your team and your stakeholders. But on the other side, well, overly optimistic projections might sound fantastic in a meeting, but they lead to poor planning, they lead to stressed out teams, and a serious loss of credibility when you just can't deliver. Okay, our second pillar is governance. I want you to think of it like the operating system for all of your financial decisions. We all know the hotel world moves fast, right? You've got to be flexible. But without clear rules and controls, that flexibility can quickly turn into chaos. Good governance creates that perfect balance you need to manage risk while still being able to adapt on the fly. So, how do you actually build good governance? Well, it really comes down to three practical steps. First, define clear roles. Everyone needs to know exactly what they're responsible for. Second, create formal approval processes, so those big decisions are made thoughtfully, not impulsively. And third, establish regular reviews to track performance and see how you're doing. Now, this isn't about creating a bunch of red tape, it's about smart, proactive management. Okay, so we've talked about systems, we've talked about processes, but let's be honest, those are worth nothing without the right people and the right culture. A leader's most important job really is to build a culture of accountability where everyone takes ownership. And a mistake? A mistake isn't a failure. It's a chance to learn and get better. And this leads us to a really critical question every leader has to face. What do you do when the actual numbers don't match the forecast? When there's a variance? Your first instinct might be to find someone to blame, right? But a great leader's goal is totally different. It's to turn that variance into a powerful lesson that actually makes the whole team stronger. So, what does that actually look like in practice? Well, it means the leader takes ownership, and not just of the outcome, but of the assumptions that went into the forecast in the first place. It means explaining what happened transparently, with no excuses. And maybe most importantly, it means using that information to learn and to adjust. That right there is the cycle of continuous improvement. You see, all of this, the ethics, the governance, the accountability, it all builds towards something much, much bigger than just hitting your quarterly targets. It's about creating a sustainable legacy. It's about ensuring the hotel you lead will not just survive, but thrive for years and years to come. And a huge part of that legacy is investing in your people. A great leader mentors their team. They build their skills. When you take the time to develop the next generation of leaders, you're making sure that the culture of excellence you've created is going to last. That is how you build a truly resilient organization. So let's bring it all together. This is the real purpose of financial leadership. It's not just about the data. It's about combining that data with strong ethics and a crystal clear strategy. It's about steering your hotel confidently through any storm that comes your way. Always focused on long-term, sustainable success. As you continue on your journey, I want you to remember that these principles are your tools. The culture you foster, that will be your creation. So the final question, the one I want to leave you with, is this. What kind of legacy will your leadership build?